Hey, it's Jennifer here from Belladonna's Botanicals, and I want to talk today about one of the lessons I learned from Belial that took me about 4.5 years to learn, but I get it now. So if you watch some of my videos in the past, in which I talk about Belial, and every time I worked with him, he would show up in entirely different guise. S- Some of them were quite ridiculous at times. Um, but what and some of them kind of played in with, other people's gnosis of, well, Belial appears, this way or according to this thing and stuff. But what I realized he was trying to teach me in this was the important lesson, and it's hard to convey, but he was teaching me the important lesson of how to understand and recognize that specific spirit's energy signature, regardless of what that spirit looks like and regardless of what they're saying or anything. So every time I worked with Belial and he'd show up as, some purple globby alien thing from the Addams family, just varying different types of guises, and some were quite ridiculous, obviously. I know with the one with Thing, he was like, "Hey, all I need to do is be able to, people the middle finger. What more do you need?" So it, what I realized he was teaching me in this, every time showing up, looking and very, very different, was that I always was able to recognize his energy. And it's not like, oh, hello, purple globby green alien. Who are you? I'm like, I recognize purple globby green alien as Belial's energy. And any of the, probably 100 different ways he showed up over times. So, and that's whether I'm working with him on the astral or in ascension mode or in deep meditation. I can't say I've had any like purple globby green aliens fully manifest in my living room, but hey, there's still time. Um, but this is what's important. And when you're working with different spirits, it's something you should pay attention to, is regardless of how they show up and regardless of how X book says, well, Lucifer looks like this, or Belial looks like this, or talks like this and has a gruff voice, that regardless of how they show up to you, you always know you're working with that spirit that they say they are, because that can help prevent you from like astral imposters or people doing glamours, especially people doing curse work like, "Ooh, I'm going to send big scary demon after you to go," that kind of thing. And or any kind of trickster spirits or imposter spirits, because their energy is going to read different. So every time you work with that spirit, pay attention to what their energy is like. Um, because there is a specific signature to it. And as I work with other spirits, I recognize what their energy is like. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it, stormy? Is it calm? Is it serene? Is it watery? Any of those types of things you can affix to that type of energy will help you in your spirit work. And and I'm going to tell you why I'm making this video today. So last night I've had really crazy nightmare-y dreams 2 days in a row, which I have weird dreams. It's no big. When I woke up this morning, I was kind of like, something's up here. Because I have this really, really like, I don't know, it was like being stuck in some kind of like hostile torture body horror kind of thing, where it's like there was this rented out house and we were all trucked, apparently a lot of us were trucked in by buses and stuff like that, and vans. And it was basically like this kind of thing where people were just torturing and doing rather awful things to other people in this rented house, and which suddenly magically was completely clean by the end. But I spent most of the time just kind of avoiding that. Like, I'm like, I'm just going to hide in this magical phone booth closet thing over here with my scarves and sweaters. But it was just weird. And it did strike me until at the end of the dream. I have weird dreams. Like, that part wasn't really, like, nightmares don't really upset me like that. It wasn't till the end of it when the survivors or the participants or whatever who were in their, whatever this was going on in this dream of, body horror and torture. And at the end, there's the person is revealed who organized this thing. And it was this like heavily tattooed, sort of grayish looking figure. And, he kind of tore his shirt off and was fully tattooed and stuff and said it was Lucifer. And this was after he had sacrificed some strange sort of hybrid sheep bison goat thing. May have been like a Baphomet kind of symbolic kind of way. And I woke up soon thereafter and I was just like, I know that wasn't actually Lucifer. Now, if I had been just, Joe Schmo, I would probably, have thought, oh my God, that was terrifying. Or, that's what Lucifer is actually like. Because I worked with Lucifer so closely, I knew that wasn't his energy signature. And I knew that wasn't him. Now, whether that was something or someone manipulating me or my crazy brain dream stuff, one of the things that I forget, I was reading it in something. It was kind of the "Are you being cursed or not?" Kind of things, like the little signs you can see if someone's throwing something at you, whether negative energy. And I woke up and I talked to my I'm going to start calling it like the remover or the curse removal. I think of a like an exorcist kind of thing. I was like, hey, can you do me a quick solid? Because this dream was really kind of weird. I'm just curious if there's anything going on. And not for nothing, she's really, and she could see who was doing this and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, I figured. Was not a shock in it. I'm like, oh wow, I had a bad dream. Oh, you hurt me with that curse. Mm. Anyways, so, but that's the importance of knowing what a spirit's energetic signature is like. Because if I didn't know, and if I didn't work with Lucifer and I didn't know that, that would be a really traumatic, horrifying dream to have endured. Um, Now, everyone, my place is heavily warded with multiple layers of warding. Um, so occasionally something gets through a little bit, and most of the time it's just minor petty bullshit and annoyances. So no big. But there's a lesson here in this. When you work with a spirit, when you're calling that spirit's energy down and working with them, whether in ritual, whether you're working with them in astral travel, ascension, deep meditation, channeling, all of that, pay attention to those energetic signatures, how they communicate, how they talk, how they comport themselves. It's not always how they look, it's the energy behind it. And that was key here. Because I knew when I woke up, like, it wasn't Lucifer doing that. So that's what's really important when you're working with different types of spirits. Because there are like, I are there malevolent spirits? Yes. More than likely, you're running into a couple things here. A malevolent spirit usually is more than often than not is going to be the spirit of the deceased. It's not demonic. Now you can send it. You can do work with the demonic to fuck shit up, but generally speaking, a spirit is they're multifaceted. It's not, ooh, it's an evil spirit or ooh, it's a good spirit. They're both, they can be. It just depends which way the pendulum swings and, what they're doing. So that the only times, I've run into malevolent spirits is usually somebody's familiar, like an incubi or succubi, things of that nature. But, it's kind of like once you have one experience with it, you recognize it and then you're just kind of like, and done. Like, it's no big, I don't know. It's really no sweat off my back. And believe me, perimenopause, I'm very warm. So that's very real. But that's just the important thing here is that we really want to make sure that the spirits we're working with are who they say they are. Because some people can do glamours. Because I know with my remover, she can see like she could see like at least descriptively, and then sometimes she's like, okay, no wait, this is they're kind of doing a glamour or an invisibility cloaking kind of thing to be like, no, I don't look this way, I'm not this person, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain kind of thing. But she can peek behind the curtain pretty easily. So this is what's important though, is recognizing the energy. And this is why it's also important, and I suck at this, why it's also important to like journal and write, down all your experiences, what they were like, sights, smells, everything that you can to construct that, especially when you're working with a spirit for the first time. Like if I just started working with Belphegor. So getting a sense of working with Belphegor, now I kind of know what I'm that energy. So if Belphegor kind of shows up here, or comes to me in a dream or in the astral or in ascension mode, I know it's Belphegor, and each spirit has different energy. Like I did a little bit with Amdusius recently, and I was like, it's got like the energetic signature of like hot lava, or something very kind of not chaotic, but like there was a heat to it, an intensity, and I would say danger, but it was just a different energy signature than say Lucifer or Lilith or Belial. So that's all I just wanted to talk about in this video real quick, is being able to, and this is the thing, our interpretations of energy is going to be different. So what I may read as what I understand Lucifer's energetic signature to be like for me, it might read differently for you, because it's all going to kind of depend on what your working relationship with Lucifer is like. So and that can vary from person to person. It can vary from grimoire to grimoire. Like, I look at sort of the illustrations from some of the old grimoires, and I'm like, I don't know what crack they were smoking, but I've never had any of the demons show up that way to me. Anywho, especially I think, what was it from the Dictionary Infernal, the sassy baby Lucifer looking dude? That one, I'm like, Lucifer's never showed up that way to me. But it's the same way a person's energetic signature might show up. Like there might be someone you're around who you're just like, and after a while you realize, oh my God, every time I'm around this person, I'm just so exhausted. Like they're draining the energy. Oh, I see it now. They've probably got that like energetic psychic vampire kind of drain where it's just kind of like, or when you're around a particular person and you're like, or you feel really good and comfortable and safe and protected, or you're around someone that you're just like, your energy is like a hummingbird that got into a bag of meth, and it's too chaotic, it's too so we all have energetic signatures. So what I would say here is start paying attention to that, whether it's people, whether it's animals, nature, spirits you work with, and just start kind of seeing how that all fits together and how you feel. So anyways, I think that's all I have on this right now, but I just wanted to share that with you, and hopefully you got something out of it. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Be sure to follow us on social media, sign up for e-newsletter. We have lots of stuff going on, and keep up with all the news, new product releases, sales, etc. Algorithms suck as always. So anyways, thank you for watching.